Today's lesson is going to be about deductive reasoning, which uses facts, rules, definitions, or properties to reach logical conclusions from given statements. You are all probably very familiar with Sherlock Holmes, a master investigator, crime solver. He was also great at deductive reasoning. So let's use a little bit of deductive reasoning to solve a crime involving the Simpsons. Um, so, anything that I put up on the screen you can assume is fact. The first fact I'm going to give you is that the perpetrator of the crime is a Simpson. So, from that information, we can deduce that the perpetrator of the crime is one of the people below: Homer, Marge, Bart, Lisa, Maggie, or Abe. Now, I know there's other Simpsons in the Simpson family, but let's assume for argument's sake that there's only these six, okay? So, let's add another fact. Let's say the perpetrator is not a child. So, if the perpetrator is not a child, we can go ahead and cross Lisa, Maggie, and Bart off the list. So now remember, we're using facts, rules, definitions, or properties to draw logical conclusions. So let's see what other facts we can add to this. Let's say the perpetrator is a female. Well, if the perpetrator is a female, then we can deduce from that, we can logically conclude that the perpetrator is not Homer and is not Abe, and therefore, since there's nobody else left, we can assume that the perpetrator of the crime is in fact Marge. So what we did is an example of using deductive reasoning to draw a logical conclusion. We talked a little bit earlier, a few days ago, about inductive reasoning. If we were using inductive reasoning here, that would be like saying, well, we noticed the pattern. We've observed that every time there's a crime committed, it's Bart. Therefore, it's probably Bart this time. So you could kind of see how deductive reasoning would compare to inductive reasoning. We're going to be using both a ton this year, so it's important to understand the similarities and differences.